no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
We are waging war on mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. I am your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming to you again live with another edition of Motivational Monday. Woo! I'm excited about being here in front of you all. I'm starting to see eyes come on. If you're out there, holla at your boy. I always said I believe there's a special place for the hungry. If you're out there, hit me up with a comment. Let me know. If you're watching this via replay, please fast forward about 1 minute as I share this to my social media outlets. Thank you. As you're popping on, man, say what's up. Let me know what's going on out there. Ladies and gentlemen, how's your week? Your week off to a good start? I'm starting to see the eyes to come on. What's up, Vanico? Hey, thank you for joining us. Hey, Courtney, how's your week going? I know we're off to a fantastic Monday. Hey, Virginia, thank you for joining us. Hey, if you all would, will you please rep your city? What city are you from? Hey, what's up, Angelique? Hey, if y'all would, drop your city in the box just so we can see where everybody is, where everybody's from. Might be somebody near you that may have a business opportunity. Hey, what's up, Mom? How are you doing today? All right, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share this out one more place on my personal page, and I will be ready to break this bread. Lafayette, is that Louisiana? Lafayette, Louisiana, or in Alabama we say Lafayette. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Thank you for joining us. Y'all shout your city out. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. Montgomery, Alabama, the Gump. That's what I'm talking about. Tell all my people over there in Alabama I said what's up. Tanya, Lafayette, Louisiana. I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all better go ahead and tell your mama, your grandmama now, go ahead and tell them to hop on right now because the motivational teacher to the masses is about to break bread. Dublin, Georgia. I love it. Memphis in the house. Memphis 10. I love it. Love seeing where you all are from, man. We don't know where we're going. We don't know who's supposed to be on that journey. Rep your city. It may be somebody right down the street from you that may be walking with your blessing. Again, please type names in the chat box. Invite people as we go. Shoot them text messages and tell them they better get on because the motivate Ghana. That's what I'm talking about. International. Watching from Ghana. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I'm so fortunate to have you all here with me. I'm telling you, you all don't know how much you inspire me. I know I'm the motivational teacher to the masses, but it feels so good to know that there's someone out there that finds value in what God has put on the inside of you. And it gives me strength to continue on. And I hope it does the same for you all tonight. Let's break bread. All right. Awaken Your I Am. I think this is episode 58 of Awaken Your I Am. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you that this series, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm telling you right now, in this season of my life, and in this season, I can tell some of you all are going back and listening to these Motivational Mondays or Bridging the Nation, and you all are going back 2 and 3 times and hashtagging it. I think Vaniqua got up to 4 or 5 times and hashtagging it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. Being passive versus active as it relates to your life. Yeah. Being passive versus active as it relates to your life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break bread. You are so strong. You are such a mighty force on this earth. You're stronger than any category 5 hurricane. You're stronger than any tsunami. That your weight, your presence carry essence of the Almighty. You're made in His image and in His likeness. See, I got to set this thing up because we've been told and we've been walking in a way that we believe is meek and a way we believe is humble, but all at the same time, we're downplaying what God has already put on the inside of us. And honestly, I didn't come to talk to your deity today, the part of you that looks like God. I really came to talk to your humanity tonight. See, I'm the motivational teacher to the masses. You don't find many people can bring it like me. I choose what portion of you, because it takes both me and my members to have total life prosperity. I'm not talking about in dollars and cents. There's a place where you can have everything you want in your life, but you got to start being an active member of your own life. I'm going to break bread before this is over. You are so special upon this earth that God has every hair on your head numbered. Nothing that happens to you happens by mistake. Don't you understand that God has a hedge around your life? And if it was meant to take you out, if it was meant to kill you, if it was meant to do anything other than to benefit you and work for your good, he would have moved it to the side. I'm going to break bread tonight because we believe a lot of the things that we've been through were meant to break us, but those things were meant to pursue us into an active lifestyle, into an active mindset, into an active words that are coming out of my mouth. Man, I'm so excited tonight because come on, Aunt, I can see the chains falling off. I can see you walking in a new level of prosperity. I can see you walking in a new level of destiny just by taking control of your own life. I'm telling you, the days of where we got to wait on welfare, or the days we got to wait on somebody to give us an opportunity, or the days of where I believe that I got to meet this person, that person, that person in order to get my next phase in life. I'm telling you, those days have been squashed. It's time to walk in what you've been called to walk in. I'm telling you right now, these are the, come on, Angelique. Yes, indeed. These are the days where the restoration is, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. When? In the coronavirus time. When? In an economic recession. When? In a moment such as this. To he or her that has an ear, let them hear what the motivational teacher is saying. Man, I'm telling you, whoever has the discipline, man, I'm going to break bread. And I'm getting into this passive and active, but this is just the appetizer, as Q would say. Whoever has the discipline to become an active participant, and check the verbiage I use, is discipline, a disciple. Whoever has the discipline to live actively within their mind for the longest majority of time are going to be the people that's going to walk in the good of the land. I'm going to break bread right now. And you keep talking about passive and you keep talking about active. What are you talking about, motivational teacher? For the sake of this Motivational Monday, our definition for a passive mindset is this. The passive mindset is defined by an attitude. It's an attitude or an assumption that life happens to you and you are not responsible. Let me say that again. A passive mindset is defined by an attitude or an assumption that life happens to you. I am about to take no, this is what we're about to do. You are about to have authority over your own life. I kicked it off saying that you thought the things you went through were meant to harm you. I'm telling you right now, change the assumption about your life and understand that what happened to you, you weren't responsible for what happened, but you are responsible for your response. I just broke bread. Most often is not the stimuli. I talked about that, I don't know, 6-8 weeks ago. It's not the stimuli that gives results. It's the attitude or the perception of what happened in my life that determines how I act, check this word out, or react. I'm about to break bread right here. I thought because I grew up in poverty, it was meant that I'm not supposed to live on the good of the land. I'm not supposed to have grapes the size of grapefruits because I believed for a moment in time in my life that that was my lot in life. God never allowed me to grow up in poverty so I could be impoverished forever. Once I learned that poverty was a mindset, that poverty was a state of my own mind, my state of my own being, I learned how to shift my mind, how to become active in my own mind and shift my outside circumstances from being poverty stricken to now somebody that walk in, thank you, Angelique, complete authority in what God has already given me. It wasn't until I decided not to be passive in my own thinking or be passive in my own life before I decided to take up the mantle or take up the cross and follow him daily and become a disciplined one. Being active in having an active lifestyle means that I'm disciplined. The poor man, or how the Bible says, the man that is not disciplined with time will always be begging, borrowing, and stealing. The person who lives an undisciplined life will die unfulfilled. That word disciple, discipline, meaning that I have an active lifestyle. I'm not passive. I don't live by responding. I'm not reactive. I'm proactive in my life. People with a passive mindset says things like, why does this always happen to me? Why this is my lot in life. I was never meant to have that. I don't think I'm a leader. A person with a passive mindset allow their life to drive them, and they no longer drive life. And I hear people say all the time that God is my pilot and I am the co-pilot, and which it sounds very spiritual. And it sounds like something that and it sounds like something that sounds very good to say that God is in control of my life, to say that God is it and all in itself. And I agree, everything that good comes from God. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely agree. But that takes away our responsibility as a disciple one or a disciplined one to have an impact over our own life. When we believe that God is the pilot and he controls the destination, that gives me no autonomy in my own mind, will, emotion, my thinker, feeler, chooses to make a decision that I believe guides my future. So why would I live a disciplined life if God is my pilot? If I have no say so about the direction of my life, God is my pilot. Yeah. Yep. God, I'm telling you right now, boy. I got some people chiming in here, man. We're going to have a conversation tonight. My thing also, I want y'all to be active with this information. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. I want y'all to be active in this conversation. I love when I see comments on the side, because you're now starting to create connections to those words. And those words start feeling emotions. And when you start putting thoughts and emotions together, now it can become actionable. It's nothing. I don't ask y'all to say that stuff to make me feel good about what I'm doing. It's more about you making those connections. Like, if, for example, if I ask you where were you on 9/11 when those planes flew into the Twin Towers? If I ask you where were you on 9/11, you would say, you will probably know, if you're my age or what, you will probably know exactly where you were when those planes flew into the Twin Towers, because that knowledge was stamped with emotion. I'm about to break, and this is totally off my notes. I'm about to break bread. That knowledge had an emotion, and it triggered a new behavior, or it triggered a new thought that has been embossed in your mind. And you chiming in this conversation, Vaniqua just said, get rid of those stagnating thoughts. Now, if I can hear it and it does nothing, but if I hear it and I put words to it and I take the energy to put it in the text box and I create an emotion, now I'm starting to become an active participant in my own life, to where it could be, I can take that word and use it for something. Knowledge is not power. And all you're get understanding, knowledge is potential power. You can sit here and listen to every one of these Motivational Mondays, and your life would look the same in 52 weeks if you don't apply action to these words that I'm speaking. I'm talking about being active in your own life. If you don't start, like I said, I love Angelique, I love Vaniqua. They go back and they listen to these #3. I got it, whatever the theme was. #3. Greater is in me. #4. I'm moving to the other side, because now they're starting to listen to it over and over and over. And one thing I have not seen is either one of them put the same thing down twice. Because why? Every time I hear it, it triggers a new word and it triggers a new emotion. Knowledge without action is null and void. You can have somebody sit in the same church. I grew up with people like this my whole life. You can have people sitting in a church for 25 years, same seat, same pew, 4 different pastors, and nothing changes in their life. Why? Because knowledge without action is void. They're living too passively with information. Boy, I'm just so far off where I want to go. Knowledge without action is null and void. I understand why. I'm going to break bread. I'm the motivational teacher to the masses. I'm going to tell you why. I understand why every 6 to 8 months, these motivational Mondays turn over into 10, 12 different people that listen. I love the ones that are consistent, but more than likely, it turns over because people are getting knowledge without action. Faith, somebody just said it, faith without works, Virginia, is dead. And we're listening and we're getting it, and we're listening and we're getting it, but it does not correlate to anything that's actionable. Same words on new ears. I'm telling you, break bread, Angelique. These words are living. Do you understand? These words that I speak to you are life. These words that I speak to you are living. It's up to you to take these words and start to build a new mindset, to start being more proactive about your life. You cannot continue to go through life as a passenger. You were never meant to ride shotgun in your life. Viola said that's just like love without feet is no good. It's no good. Power is knowledge when it's put into action. Tanya, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's when it's put into action. You can know, check this out. We can no longer go through our life as a passenger. I got shotgun in my own life. We're like a ship without a rudder. What is our ultimate? Have I made a clear declaration of what I want out of my life? Can I clearly articulate the purpose of which I have come? Man, come on, man. Right now, some of y'all gifts should be leaping in your belly right now. What's up, Tina? Thank you for joining us. Right now, your calling should be leaping in your belly right now. Man, it's spirit speaking to spirit. I'm telling you right now tonight, you got to take the wheel and decide that I'm going to drive this thing right into destiny. I can no longer sit by and just sit by, idly by and wait. That I have to become an active participant in my own life. Well, I'm just waiting on my boss to really recognize my value, or I'm just waiting on Joe Biden to pass his second stimulus, or I'm just waiting on the Democrats to take control of the Senate because you know they're gonna win Georgia. Let's go, Reverend Raphael and John Alsop. And I'm just waiting on them 2 seats to take place before I can get my spot in life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm got to tell you, the wait is over. Being a disciplined one, listen, being a disciplined one, even if I wait on the Lord, I'm waiting with a purpose. I do nothing in my life without clear direction and purpose. Even when I walk by faith, it's on purpose. Even they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. When they talk about wait, they're not talking about sitting on your hands, on your knees, my Lord, kumbaya, my Lord. They're not talking about wait. They're talking about like a server. They that wait upon the Lord. Lord, what do you want to do with my life? Let me see if he will work for me. Let me go put my name in. Let me go see, can I get a loan to start this business? Let me see, can I cook my first cookie and give it away free? That's wait, Lord, let me see what you're doing in this season of my life. Boy, we just talked about that on Sunday morning. What season of my life am I in? What are you doing? Whatever you're doing in this season, God, don't do it without me. And the truth be told, listen to your boy. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. Whatever he's doing in this season, he cannot do it without you. You came into the earth. If you're on this side of the dirt, you were meant to be doing it with him. Somebody need to write in there, I work with God. Somebody need to write that in there right there. I don't work for God. I work with God because the great I am is strengthening my I am. See, some of y'all been sitting down that way and you've been in that hall and been over there in that pig pen. You're over there in that slop trying to figure out where you are. I'm telling you right now, you better come to yourself because you were never meant to be in slop when your dad owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. You were never meant to beg, borrow, and steal when your daddy owned a cattle on 1,000 hills. I work with God. I don't work for God. I work. The great I am is strengthening my I am for a specific purpose in this earth. And it does not happen without a disciplined and active lifestyle. If I hung up all this Motivational Monday right now, I just broke enough bread for you to go listen to this first, probably skip the first 3. You can go back and listen to these 17 minutes I just broke bread for the next 5 days, and you'll start to add action to what I just said. Add action to what I just said, and it's enough to radically transform your life into something that you didn't even know that was on the inside of you. Yeah, I got to take the wheel. I got to take the wheel. I got to take the wheel. I work with God. And most of us believe that in Christianity that that God is working it out for me. We believe that in all things work together for our good. But ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that God cannot override your mind, your will, your emotion, your thinkers, your feelers, and your choosers. You got to work with him in that regard, that you have to control. Should I break bread like that? You have to control that which you control, which is all up in these synapses in your beautiful head. You have to control what you can control and allow him to control what he can control. And I got to tell you, what you control is going to be 80% of your manifestation. I'm breaking bread right now. Some of y'all don't believe me. That's why if you go, it says, if my people who are called by my name, if you repent, because 80% of what your manifestation is based upon you controlling your controllables, meaning that I have to be an active participant in my own life. That's the difference between people who have an active mindset and a passive mindset. An active mindset says, I own the results in my life right now. I own them. I'm not saying my dad was in and out of prison, man. I know he was. My dad was in and out of prison. I can't put where I am in my life on what my dad didn't have, because my father that is in heaven can fill any gap in my life when I learn to create new thoughts. I can't say that, Trump had $400 million given to him. I didn't have $400 million given to me. I can't use that as my excuse as to why I'm not walking in my wealthy place. Tanya just said it. You get to choose. Lisa, get moving. Virginia, I'm going to do it. Break that bread. I'm telling you right now. Ladies, I'm telling you right now. This stuff is phenomenal. Well, motivational teacher, I hear you talking about a passive and an active lifestyle. I hear you talking about it, but how do I know? Because truth be told, a man doesn't know his own heart. And sometimes we like to justify where we are based on where our beliefs of where we should be. And so don't get me wrong, you should be ecstatic about where you are. And if you're watching the motivational teacher to the masses, I know that there's something brewing on the inside of you. Average to lukewarm people can't sit here long. Lukewarm people make me itch. I can't sit in the presence of people that are not committed to something. And if you're sitting across from me right now, what I do know is you understand commitment. If you keep coming back here and you just allow this crock pot to continue to simmer, your life is just by being close to the fire alone, you're going to feel a spark or two. I'm telling you, if you're watching me, what I do know is that greatness is on the inside of you. What I do know is you know something about you. And you're good with where you are in life, but I know that there's more on the inside of me. God, I'm content, but I'm looking for greater. You said greater works I should be doing. Right now, I ain't doing the greater. I'm doing greater than my neighbor. I'm doing greater than this, but my neighbor and my people, my family is not my bar. You said I was going to do greater, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait on you until I get my greater. And if you're looking at me, I know that's you. See, that's why I have different conversations with you all. When I speak on the road, sometime I have to water all my stuff down. I have to go out there and make it fit 100% of the people. But when I'm sitting like this in front of these people, I give you the straight out truth. Why? Because I know you people got free reign to change the channel whenever they want to. But if you sit here, I'm giving you straight truth. And it's going to make us free today. I'm breaking bread. How passive people. Rod, what's up? I see Rod. Motivation follows me. For Nick will be on it. That's 2-3 weeks ago. It follows me because I got purpose, baby. I got something deep down. I don't need you to stir me up. I don't need my why keeps me going. Let's break bread. How passive people see the world. See, passive people, and honestly, I don't believe people are born passive or active. I don't believe people are born passive and active. John Piaget said that we were born as a tabula rasa. When babies come into this world, they are blank slates. And I do believe that DNA plays a role. I really do believe that we have these chromosomes from our mom, we have these chromosomes from our dad, and they play a role. But ultimately, our environment shapes who we become. If I'm one who has grown up and I have been ignored in my childhood, I've been abused in my childhood, I've not had high self-esteem about myself in my childhood, or if I felt like I'm the black sheep of my family, then that person, based on that environment or those experiences, sometime will live a more passive lifestyle just because of that reason. Not that I was born passive. It was that my environment trained me how to think passively. Understand? That's why when you come into the knowledge of who God is, he says you have to create in you a new heart. He says you have to renew that mind daily. How can I put new wine in an old wineskin? He's talking about that shaping and that environmental pushing you to who you are today. Well, I was born that way. Nope, not true. You were not born that way. Most of how we think we were born are learned behaviors. I snap on my wife or I snap on my husband because I saw my parents fuss and fight my whole life, and subconsciously, in my mind, that's the idea of a happy relationship. And that's why you snap at your spouse. And that's why there could be your husband's on top of the rooftop. That's why your wife is sleeping in a separate bedroom. You can't find no warmth in the winter. Why? It's all because of how we've been shaped and me living passive in my life that we decided. And yes, it is our fault. It's not our environment's fault because God made us to where we have free reign to make decisions on our own life. If you made the decision to be there, you can make the decision to get away from that same place. I'm breaking bread right now, but it requires that I become active in my own thought life, that I become active in my own word life, that I become active in my own deed life. Why motivational teacher to the masses? This world only wants to see you average. They only want to see you average. And I'll give you a good example. If we don't learn to think for ourselves, this world will think for us. I had a friend of mine reach out to me this past weekend, old friend from high school, that celebrating birthdays and rented a big Mercedes Benz wagon, a big, what you call that thing, like the limo, rented the limo. They went out, I'm talking about in the middle of COVID, they went out to some clubs, ended up at the strip club, and then asked me, and was I coming? All our old teammates and stuff gonna be there. I said, whoa, that ain't what I do. That's not what I do. That has nothing to do with my purpose, or it has nothing to do with my desire out this life. And the reason why I can speak so boldly about that, because they don't make decisions for me. If you allow people to make decisions for you, they will drive you down a hole that you cannot get out. If I wasn't an active participant on my own life, I would have been on that party bus. But because when you got purpose in your life, it not only shows you where you should be going, it shows you where you shouldn't be going. And I was offended that you would ask me something like that, because I am breaking bread. I have no time, listen to your boy, to participate in activities that doesn't yield me results. I don't fight battles where there are no spoils, because right now we're working with a finite resource called time. All of us are on a clock, and every moment that we're not living as a disciplined one, or we're not living with an active mindset, we are giving away time, which is a finite resource to us on this earth. I can no longer, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen to your boy. I'm not saying that you should be in bondage to time, but what I am saying, we should walk as one in authority. We should walk as one with direction. I know where I am going. I know God, I can clearly articulate that I am the motivational teacher to the masses. I encourage and cause people to come into their best life, to realize their human potential. That's what I do. If it's not in line with that, then it must be out of line with where I'm going. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a finite resource, and it's time for us to take control back. On the clock, working with God. Man, be found faithful with your time. Be found faithful, because the life that you want is on the other side of you taking life by the reins and saying, I'm no longer riding shotgun in my own life. Me and my Father are one. Boy, when you get to that point where you can say, me and my Father are one, and look, my family are those that do the will of my Father, you walk away. Man, once you get to that point where you have confidence that the great I am is strengthening your I am, you no longer need the words, or you no longer need the replenishment, or you no longer need the validation from the other people around you. You no longer need for your family to tell you how much they really want you. You no longer need for somebody on your job to kiss up to you. You no longer need for somebody to lay down your jacket over a puddle. You no longer need those things. Why? Because the great I am is strengthening my I am, and I choose to see life through those lenses. Is there anything too hard for you? That answer is no. So if the answer is no, why are you so passive in your own life? If there's nothing too hard for you, if you are more than a conqueror, why are you so passive in your own life? Take that bull by the horns, take life by the horns, and say, I'm going to ride this joker right into my promised land. There's a land flowing with milk and honey. I'm going to take life. Yeah, I'm riding it. I'm going to take life, and I'm going to ride it right to the marriage that I dreamed of. Can you clearly articulate what you want from your relationship? Can you clearly articulate what you want from your career? Can you clearly articulate what you want financially? Can you clearly articulate what you want from your business? If you can't clearly articulate what you're looking for, how do you know when you found it? I just broke bread. If you're not working every day to clearly articulate what you want out of this world will give you what it wants you to have. And ladies and gentlemen, that is farewell, or what they like to call welfare. They only want you to fare well. I just broke bread. Passive people see the world. I've been so far off my notes. Passive people believe they leave their future to fates. Passive people. And believe it or not, I don't understand why so many Christians are passive in their own life and believe that God is playing Russian roulette with my life. God is playing shooting craps with my life. God is playing blackjack with my life. And we believe that my life is what happens to fate. You can't get what you're looking for with your eyes closed. Say that, Coach T. I just outlined my goals this morning, and great. Come on, Angelique, your master creator. Come on, Angelique. I just wrote them out this morning. And the word that I love, or the two words that I love, great detail. That means I put thought into it. Faith without works is dead. Write the vision, make it plain. Because those that see it can run with it. That tells me that my vision has to be big enough to incorporate somebody else. Passive people leave their future to fate. I'm just going to see, can I make it? Let's just go see what happens this year. We're going into 2021. Let's just see what happens. There's no real direction. Just skipping through my life. Let's see what happened to my relationship. There's no intentionality with your spouse. Let's just see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Either it's green and growing or it's dying. If you're not intentional, anything in your life that you're not intentional about is dying. Somebody need to write that down right now. If you're not intentional about your marriage, it's dying. If you're not intentional about your business, it's dying. If you're not intentional about rearing or giving the time and attention needed to your children, those relationships are dying. No matter what state they're in, they can be revived. But it's going to require that I become intentional in those relationships. Unlike passive-minded people. Number two, passive-minded people believe that things just happen. Oh, man. Thank you, Father, for this that just happened. Things just believe. I know. I say it this way. God has spiritual bumpers all around the way. There are spiritual bumpers that's going to keep us in track. But those spiritual bumpers won't have you living your best life. People that are living their life, that are intentional about their life, have an outline course that they're following. And spiritual bumpers get you there quicker. Spiritual bumpers help you make detours, but at least you're going somewhere, and God can use what you have to get you somewhere. He can use it. He can use it. I like to use a natural example, and I like to give a biblical example. What you have naturally in your hands that you love to do, or your thought process, or if you are a passionate person, or if you're a person that is detail oriented, or if you're a great salesperson, that very thing that you have is what God wants to use when you're intentional about it. You don't believe me? Let me break bread. When it was time to go pay the taxes, Jesus told Peter to go get the money from where? From the fish's mouth. And what was Peter? A fisherman. So he used what Peter does in order to bring in resources to meet the needs of whatever you need. It's you working in the area of which you've been gifted to be able to pull in resources so you can fund the things, or so you can have the life that you want. It's not going to happen if we're not intentional about our relationships, our family, our career. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Mama. If you're not intentional, thank you, Vaniqua. If you're not intentional, you're dying. And that sounds harsh, but it's true. If you're not intentional, you're wasting your most valuable resource, which is time. Things just doesn't happen. Number three, how passive people see the world. They confuse failure with destiny. Passive people, if something passive people do not work out, they assume that it just wasn't meant for me. Well, this is not my season in life. Well, it failed, so it must not be for me. Well, if it was for me, it would have been easy. Well, it must not be my season in life. Well, I'm just going to lay here in this pig pen. Well, passive people look for ways to make excuses to not have to fight past mediocrity. Fighting past mediocrity requires that we fight. That we fight. And failure is only failure if I don't learn, and listen to this word, apply the knowledge that I gained as a result of that past mistake. We've all missed the mark, but we press toward the mark of the high calling. What do you say, motivational teacher? We've all missed the mark. I was living in a room the size of a closet because of decisions that I had made. I had 4 suits hanging up because that's all could fit. I had to turn sideways to use the bathroom because it was that small. And it was never meant for me to be living in that room the size of a closet. It was all based on my poverty mindset and my poverty thinking that attracted me to that position. But without me being in that closet, I don't walk out of self-preservation and I don't walk out of fear. And see, the very thing that you're running from is what God wants to use to get you to the next phase of your life. God has the resources. We have to use them. Or let's say it this way, Tina. We have to be active in managing the resources that he gave to us. You can speak life or death in every situation. I'm breaking bread right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm breaking bread right now, ladies and gentlemen. When you step out on faith, you will either find solid ground to stand, or you'll be given, I got an email that came right over there. You find solid stand, or God will make a lifeline for you, or he will give you wings to fly. It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. It lights, camera, action. Boom. You are now, check this out. What's up, stars? Thank you for joining us. You are now the director. You are now the screenplay writer. You are now the lead actress or the lead actor in your own life. I am about to break bread. You got the great I am that's helping you write the script of your own life. I'm telling you right now, I'm no longer allowing somebody else to dictate what my life is by writing my life story. I'm not allowing the person in my past that told me I wasn't good enough to continue to write my story. Right now, I'm the Black Panther of my own story. I'm about to break bread. Right now, I'm Lee Daniels, and I'm writing out my own life. I'm about to break bread. Right now, I'm Steven Spielberg, and I'm about to write a brand new movie about my life. I'm John Maxwell. I'm about to write a new chapter in my life that requires that I walk actively in my own life. It's time to take these reins and ride this joker home. I'm telling you right now, it is this moment in life. An active mindset means you're in control of how you respond. Yeah, God helps you with the perfect ending. You better believe it. The great I am is always, see, man, like we think we are alone. Oh, I'm making these decisions, and we think we're alone. The great I am is leading and guiding us the whole way. The whole way. The great I am is leading and guiding us the whole way. But subconsciously, we think we've made so many mistakes, and so many things that I tried that work. We feel like we're alone. I'm telling you right now that it's having that active mindset. You are speaking true word. Come on, devil. I'm going to break bread. When you sit in front of me, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm giving you bread good for life. You're in control of how you respond to the ups and downs of life. You're in control about your next moves in life. You're in control about what you want in this next chapter of your life. You're in control about how your 2021 turns out. I got to tell y'all right now, and 2020 has been the most prosperous of my life. I'm not being boastful. I'm just telling us it's our outlook. I made more money in 2020 than I made in 2019. I've spent more time with my wife and kids in 2020 than I did in 2019. I made over 200 YouTube videos in 2020, and I made zero in 2019. I did 60 videos in 2019, and overall, I'm almost at 300 videos. I had multiple in-person, I had multiple Skype speaking engagement. 2020, when everybody told me I can't wait to get rid of it, doom and gloom, 2020 has been the best year of my life, and I had COVID, and I'm standing on the back end of it saying that 2020 has been one of the best years of my life. Why? Because I lean into it being the best year of my life. I set the narrative around here in my own life. Can't nothing come near me that I don't allow. Me, I said it last week. Vaniqua, you recorded it. Me and you retweeted it. Me and God equals the majority. I don't make decisions based on this world's economy. I don't make my decisions based on what CNN is saying. I don't make my decisions based on what Fox is saying. I am an active participant in my own life. I allow what comes into my life. I decide whether I want to listen to that. I decide whether I think that's beneficial. I am an active participant in my own life. Your life is what you say it is. You can have what you say you can have. You can do what you say you can do. You can be what you say you can be if you're willing to string together enough active thoughts to get you to where you want to be. I just broke bread. You're in control of how you respond. You're in control of how you talk to yourself. And active attitudes means ownership. An active mindset means you are responsible for the things that you control. Take ownership of your own life. Anything in your life, that's the one thing I love about a human being. A cat can only be a cat, a dog can only be a dog, but we can transform into whatever we want to be. If I want to be a lawyer, I just have to acquire the information to become a lawyer. You got to do something now. You got to be active. You got to pass the bar exam, and at that moment, bam, I'm recognized as a lawyer. I can be that. I can be that. If I want to be a doctor, guess what? I could be that. I got to go take the MCAT. I could be a doctor. I got to pass my boards. I can be that. Why? Because all I have to do is acquire the information, pass the right test in order to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, if I wanted to be a barber, or if I want to be a millionaire, if I want to be healed and maintaining my health, it's the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. I have to get the right information. Whatever I want to be, I have to get the right information. I have to activate that information. And believe it or not, that's going to be a test. And I have to pass that test. I'm breaking bread right now. You got to pass. Believe you me that life is going to present you with an opportunity, whether it's pass, fail. It's going to be pass, fail to whether you believe what you said you believe. If you believe you want to be a doctor, you go sit down and take 8 to 12 years worth of classes like my cousin Lonnie is doing, and pass MCAT, pass your boards, and now you can become a board certified physician. But unless you're willing to do the work, you can't put them initials in front of your name. Same thing here. If you want to start a business, if you're not willing to do the work before the success, they don't say once the first day you enter law school or the first day you enter medical school, you're Esquire or you're a doctor, whatever. No. I see you, Vanico, pass the, I don't know that test. You got to pass the test. It doesn't happen the first day. It takes time. And because my cousin Alana knows that she's a doctor before she finishes med school, she goes 12 years. She goes 12 years to medical school. She goes and do her interns. Why? Because I know I am a doctor. I have to go through the proper steps in order to get the credentialing. If you are the best cookie maker in your city, it just matters of you cooking cookies. Why are you waiting on the perfect opportunity to cook the cookies? Start cooking cookies. Or if I want to own my own daycare, I got to start somewhere. You have to believe it before you do it. Because if you don't, let me add this word, actively believe it, you're not willing to put works with your faith. And it's dead being alone. I just broke bread. Knowledge is potential power. Has some really good comments up in here, man. I appreciate y'all chiming in. Master your thoughts or someone else will master them from you. Come on, stars. Yes, indeed. The power. Oh, man, Lisa, you just said something strong. The power is in you. Lisa, you said something strong. If the power is in us, why are we looking everywhere outside of us for the power? I need the banks to validate my gift. I need this person to validate my gifts. I can't see it happen with this. I need a new administration in the office before I can do it. What's up, Q? Like the power is within us, but we're putting all of our belief outside of us that somebody else has to come along before I can start doing what's in my heart to do. Man, define what your magnificent life looks like. Define where you want your life. I'm getting ready to get off this Motivational Monday. Define what you want your life to look like and live it on your terms. Stop compromising great for good. Stop compromising great for good. Some of us right now, our nest is being stirred. When a mama eaglet, it's time for the baby eaglet to get out the nest, the mama eaglet will take her beak and she will start stirring up the bottom of the nest so that the clippings or the trees or the stems, they start sticking the baby bird. So the baby birds start moving around that nest because that nest starts to become uncomfortable. In some of our lives right now, our nest is starting to become uncomfortable because the great I am is stirring the nest from our awakened I am. It's time for us to move beyond our comfort zone and start to believe and being an active participant in where we are going. Some of us, we got to let lot go. Some of us got to walk away from our kindred. Some of us got to walk away from the only life I've known. Some of us got to walk away from the city that we were in. We got to stop compromising the truth of who we are. I can no longer depend. It's a beautiful place where you can't depend on what you thought you needed to get what you need out this life. Oh, that's strong. I just broke bread. I just broke bread. Boy, that was so strong. I just broke bread. It's a beautiful place to know that you can't depend on what you thought you had to have to get to the next level of life. Because in that moment is when you're truly walking by faith. Faith starts at the end of your comfort zone. No more lukewarm, passive living. No more lukewarm, passive living. I wake up every morning, God, how can I express the highest manifestation of who I am today? Every morning we wake up with a value purpose. We wake up with purpose in our life. No more lukewarm living. No more days of just time has passed and I cannot account for the time. My son checked me right before I came downstairs. I told y'all, like, I ain't got this thing all together. I'm a player/coach. I was talking. Right now I'm writing a book. And my son said, Dad, and I got a really good name to endorse my book. He's gonna write the foreword for my book. And my son, and we saw the guy today. And so we kind of talked about it. And I'm telling you right now, I don't have this thing all wrapped together. My son checked me. My son is 11. He checked me so hard. He said, Dad, why haven't you finished the book? I said, because I'll be driving you up and down the road with this basketball stuff. You know what he said? He said, you said I played PlayStation this weekend 17 hours. If I played PlayStation 17 hours, that means you could have wrote the book 17 hours. I said, ouch. I said, ouch. Because the motivational teacher to the masses was making excuses, and out of the mouth of babes, I got checked right before I came down here to make this video. Right out of the mouth of babes. Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got it all together. But I will share my mishaps as well as my good stuff, and hopefully we can grow together. I got checked by my 11-year-old. I didn't need the prophet. I didn't need the prophetess. I didn't need the mentor. My 11-year-old checked me right in the middle of my tracks. And I'm telling you, like, when we're living an active lifestyle, God will place spiritual bumpers out there to get us to where we need to go. I'm telling you right now. And for some of us, that's a word for you too. Let's look for where we can get going. Let's start moving in that direction, because out of the mouth of babes come perfected praise. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been amazing tonight. Define what you want for your life and live it on your terms. You plus God equals the majority. No more, somebody put that in there for me. No more lukewarm living. No more, he is a vessel. Rod, that's funny. No more lukewarm living. No more lukewarm living. That word lukewarm means that I'm living a passive lifestyle. It's time for us to take control of what we control. I control my relationship with my spouse. I actually control how much money in my bank account. I control how my kids respond to me. I control how my boss responds to me. I control how my people that work for me respond to me. Yes, I am that powerful. And you are too. It requires that we're active in our own lifestyle. You plus God equals the majority. Nobody else needed. Or like my sister would say, who gonna check us, boo? Me plus God equals the majority. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have been phenomenal. This text box has been off the chain. I see my auntie just popped on here. I see your styles. Stop surviving, start living. No, I'm gonna say it like this: no more lukewarm living. I'm taking back what was mine from the foundation of this doggone earth. I'm coming for it, man. I'm coming for it all. There's nothing like a made up mind through principalities, through powers, and through wickedness in high places. I'm coming. Boy, I feel this with I feel virtue just went out of me. I'm coming with everything that is in me for everything that God has already given me. Don't compromise what you got in your hand. It's something magnificent, but it requires you to live actively. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have been phenomenal. Stay tuned. Lady Queen I Am, Antoinette Marie, we will be doing like a seminar leading up into New Year's. We should be dropping that flyer in a couple of days. So stay tuned. We're only taking 21 people as we go into 21. And we're going to break bread there too. You have been phenomenal. Thank you all for joining in. I never take your time for granted. Any time spent with me will be well worth it. I appreciate you all. Yeah, Denise, you're a little late, but that's go #1. And thank you, Denise. You made me remember this. Hey, please go back, listen to this 2, 3, 4, 5 times. #1 and start making it actionable. All right, based on what he just said, what am I going to do with this information? Knowledge is potential power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. #1, I got this. #2, I'm doing this based on this. And we're going to all see ourselves in the promised land. Ladies and gentlemen, we're building something special right here. We're building something special. And I appreciate you all taking some of your Monday night to hang out with the motivational teacher to the masses. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity every day. We out.
It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage